I'll get started. All right, hello everyone. Thank you for joining. I'm Brenda Miller. I'm Stampin' Up demonstrator in Basking Ridge, New Jersey. And tonight we are having our Paper Pumpkin Zoom class where some of my Paper Pumpkin subscribers and downline join in and we assemble one of each project. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So I am going to spotlight my desktop. There we go. So we have a usual orange box today. And of course you have some tissue paper. Sheila, did you already do this kit?
No.
No, okay. But you opened it, I bet, right?
Yes.
Of course. Okay, so when we open our kit, I'm gonna just take everything out just to make it easier. We have our dimensionals. We use a lot of dimensionals on this card. So go ahead and keep that out. We also have a lovely, gorgeous grape spot. Love this.
That's gorgeous. I love it.
I know. It's just so pretty. We have some twine for the cards. And then, oops, we have a stamp set, which you all have. Let me grab mine. I want to talk about the stamp set for just a second. You'll notice on the stamp set that it doesn't have the black writing. And I'm not sure we talked about this before, but we had been informed that this is the new way they're going to be sending it. So it doesn't show what stamps should be there. But if you open up your whole package and you take out the instruction sheet that's there, you'll find underneath the instruction sheet a sheet that looks like this.
Oh, that's what that's for.
That's what it's for. So it has a score, it has a dotted line. And what I'm doing with it is I'm folding it, and then we put this stamp set inside, right? So I have a little storage thingy to keep, and you know, all the stamps that are on there, okay? So that is the story with the piece of paper and the fact that there's no writing on the plastic. So, and if you order any of our regular kits that are in our regular line, you're going to see that happening as well as they turn over the inventory, just so that you know. Okay, so let's get back to our kit here. So we have 2 styles of envelopes, 4 of each. Let's see, 4 of each, 3 of each. Let's see, 4 of each. And so I'm putting mine aside. And so next we're starting to get into our supplies. I just want to grab my handouts because you can follow along if you want to. It's just the final page that tells us which pieces go to which card. So the first thing we have is this piece, and it's actually it breaks apart to 2 pieces that go with 2 different projects. And I say projects because the first one that we're going to do is just a tag. Now you can take that tag and add it to a card if you want, but you're going to separate it out, and the tag goes with project number 1, and the rest of it goes with project number 2. Okay. And then you have some left for the next cards when you want to make them later. Then we have this gorgeous, Sue and I were talking about this very pretty card base. And this card base goes with project number 3. Okay, so now we have our 3 piles. This is how they look that you can kind of see. Okay, so the rest of the card bases can go to the side. Then we have sheets of these beveled edge squares, and you're going to pop one out, put the rest aside, and that popped out one goes with card number 3. All right. Everybody with me?
No, I'm looking for the popped out
So
Thing you just did.
it was in between the two different card bases.
Okay, maybe that's why.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. So you have the pretty,
Got it.
yep, okay. So pop one out and put it in pile number 3.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Then the polka dot card base goes with project number 2. Just move those. So that goes there. All right, some more pieces. So here we have a card full of 4 pop-outs of just the gorgeous gray Highland Heather strip. And this strip is going to go with project, let's see, which project does this go to?
3.
Yeah, it goes, oh, there it is, project 3. Thank you. And then here are our labels. So we have lots of extra labels on here. Okay, so that was nice of them, more than usual even. So the long skinny one, that goes with project number 2. Okay. And then the one that looks like a label that has the rounded sides, that goes with project 1. And I'm just going to tell you, this little teeny tiny one over here gets lost very easily. So keep an eye on it. And it goes with project number 3. Keep an eye on that little guy. As you can tell, I did lose it 4 times. Then we have a sheet of our glue dots. So you can choose to use glue dots, or you can use your regular adhesive. I usually use my regular adhesive, but there are points that this might be helpful today because we've got some very, very fine laser cuts, and that's what's next. So you have the green laser cuts. Okay, we're going to use 1 sheet for the different cards that we have out. So you can put the other 3 sheets away. So we're just going to work with 1 of these. And I'm going to start by punching out the Lost Lagoon one. So that's, you know, one of these things is not like the other. This is the other. Okay, or this is the one of those things. The other 2 are garden green. So the Lost Lagoon one looks like that. And that goes with project number 1. Then we're going to carefully punch out the smaller of the garden green ones. And this smaller one, very fine. So it's, you know, you got to be really careful. And once you get this out, it looks like that. And it goes with project number 3. Then the big one, notice it has a little base here. Going to be very helpful later. But that is getting punched out. And if this one goes with card number 2. Okay, so this one looks like this. Okay, card number 2. Let me know when you're done with that. Punching all those out. Oh, good. Okay. Next, we're going to take a sheet of these sheets with the pretty flowers on them. These have, each sheet covers 2 cards. So we're just going to be using half of a sheet. Okay, so, but the way they're lined up, we're just going to start off from the left-hand side, or what I'm using as my left, is where the love is. And we're going to carefully punch out love, which is so pretty. And then this goes with card number 3. Then we're going to cut out the different stems. We're going to get 2 of these single stems of flowers. Okay, so we need 2 of these. And these 2 are going to go also with card number 3. It's these 2. And then lastly, we have 3 of are these lilacs? Somebody help me. What kind of flower?
Looks like,
What?
it looks like it.
Okay, thank you. It's here we go. So this one has a base. So it has all 3 attached, like so. And that goes with card number 2. And that's it. That's all of our supplies. So we can get started. We will start with project number 1. And we have just 3 pieces here. We've got the tag that we punched out. Then we have our little label and we have our Lost Lagoon leaves. So we're going to go ahead and stamp on our little label. And the stamp they used on this one is just a little something for you. It's like that. And I'm going to use my big pad like I usually do. Save my little spot to give away. And we're going to just stamp that right on there. Nothing fancy. Again, I love that they mix the fonts. Just makes it look so pretty. All right, just give me a thumbs up when you're ready from that. As I know, okay. Because of course I already have mine pre-stamped. Not pre-stamped, pre-mounted. Today was bad. I actually did this project this afternoon. I had looked at it and I knew it was going to be easy. So I actually didn't do it until after my last call this afternoon. But it was fun. Been long enough. All right. Okay. Lois, you good? Okay. Yeah, I just didn't spot when you put your thumb up. Okay, so we're going to take our Lost Lagoon leaves now, and this is going to go on the card, and it's going to hang off a little bit. So I'm actually going to use my silicone mat, which I love to have, and I'm just going to put a little adhesive on the back. Now you can use wet adhesive, dry adhesive. You could use the little glue dots. I'm going to use the wet for now. And you just want to make sure when you're putting it on the back, first of all, you don't need a whole lot, but the left side is actually going to hang off a little bit. So just put a little adhesive on the right side and maybe in the center, and that should be fine. So I'll show you what I'm planning to do. And I'm very bad because, you know, it's the reverse. So I have to hold it in my hand and flip it over. And then just put some on the left side. I'm just using a few little lines of this wet adhesive. So you girls can be proud of me that I'm using wet adhesive. I always like to, you know, show that I'm growing. All right. And when we put it on, we just want it just hanging off a little bit. Like so. And of course, always get a little too much glue, no matter how little I try to put on. But there it is. It's very pretty. And then we're going to take our string, our twine. And since I have an open one, I'm going to use that. And remember, we have our ruler on the side of our sheet, and we're just measuring 12 inches. Probably get by with a little less than that, but we'll go with the 12. We're not actually going to tie bows today, which is just lovely. You know how much I like that. And, you know, that we have that. What I like to do is it's all curly, right? So I'm just going to use my fingernail. I'm going to hold one end. And just like, you know, when you're doing curling ribbon, we're doing the opposite here. This is uncurling the twine by putting our fingernail against it and I'm just pulling it between my fingers like so. You really only have to do it once or twice, but I like that because it takes out some of the kinks. So
Do
now,
you, do you have any hint for finding the end on this?
oh my gosh, I really don't. I'm sorry. Here, let's see.
I'm like rubbing it and
Yeah, sometimes I give up. Actually, see, mine is sticking out, so I have it easy.
Mine was sort of in the middle of
Yeah,
the row,
mine,
though.
yeah, this is where
Yeah.
mine is. But they
Oh,
tuck it
mine
under
too.
so that it stays. I just cut it sometimes. I know that makes things worse, but
I might resort to that.
yeah, I often find myself in that predicament because I have zero patience when it comes to stuff like that. So, all right. So once we do get it, we are just going to, actually, once we have it, let's just put it aside and we're going to go ahead and put our label on using dimensionals on the back. And again, this might hang over a little bit. So, on the left side, back of the left side, leave a little space. And I'm using the 2 dimensionals. Like I said, this card does use a lot. I mean, this kit does use a lot. And I'm just going to put it kind of in the middle and off. So here we go. So that's how the label is going to look. And once we have that, we're going to challenge everybody again. And we are going to take our string and we're going to just fold it over. And the side that has the fold, you're going to just kind of pinch it. And that little pinched area, trying to show it on the screen, goes through the hole like that. And once you have it, don't pull it too far, but you have to pull it far enough that you have a loop. Then the 2 ends go in the middle. And then you just pull it up. Ta-da! Now, of course, you can do it any way you want. You can tie a knot, you can do whatever, but this is the way I like to do it normally. And I was kind of surprised that that's how they did it in the kit too. Like, oh, look at that. Usually they do it differently. So that's it for this little tag. So again, you could put this on a, like on a Highland Heather or Gorgeous Grape background or even a white card, right? And that could be a card too. So if you don't need tags, you can always make a tag into a card. That is project number 1. And when you are done, let me know. Awesome. How you doing, Sue? Did you get that end?
Eventually. But I did that cut in the middle finally.
Oh, geez.
It's good. If you want to get started on the next one, I'll catch up.
Okay, as long as you're good with that. Okay, so for
Absolutely.
part number 2, nice. This one is a little bit interesting. Okay, so let's go ahead and stamp our tag first, or a label. And this one, they used the Happy Valentine's Day. You can, of course, use anything you want. I am very excited about having this Happy Valentine's Day stamp itself. I collect these because this is like the class that I do most often with kids. And I just need as many Happy Valentine's Day sentiments as I can get. So anyway, very excited about that. We're just stamping it right in the center. And I have to put it on something else because I'm using a plain piece of paper today as my background. It's really the back side of one of my sheets of grid paper that Lois gave me. Thank you, Lois. Tomorrow, remind me to give you back the extras I have of that. I'm using the used ones, the back side of the used ones.
Oh, stop.
That's what I do. I use both sides always. I go through a lot of grid paper.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of grid paper. Okay, so once we have our label stamped, give me a thumbs up if you've got that done. And just wait a second for everybody else. All right, great. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. We're gonna, if you take out your flowers that have the little bar on the bottom, just make sure you punch out everything, because both times I did it, it's stuck right here. I have a piece stuck, so you want to get rid of that. And then I'm going to show you how they recommend doing this, okay? I'm going to use regular adhesive this time, and I'm using my silicone mat. And they want you to put a strip of adhesive on the front of the little bar that we have at the bottom. You just have to be careful. It is very fragile. Like I almost ripped this one. So be careful when you're putting your adhesive on, but the adhesive does go on the front. So however you like to do your adhesive, you'll have that at the bottom. And then you're going to take your flowers and we're going to just lay them right over that bar. And it's so nice because it kind of just tells you exactly where to put things. So you just put
Like it.
over that bar. Nice and easy. So we don't even have to think. Yay!
I like that.
I know. The whole not thinking thing is a beautiful thing.
It is indeed.
So let me know when you've got that done. I know I'm taking it slower today, but trying to make sure everybody's on target. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing, and we're going to put a strip of adhesive right on the top, or however you're doing it, on the top of where the flowers are on that bar at the bottom. So that didn't really make sense. We're putting it on the bar at the bottom on the front side. That makes a little bit more sense. And once you have that done, go ahead and hold that in one hand and take this frame. We're now going to call this a frame where we cut the tag out of. We're going to flip it over. And then we're going to flip over our pieces that we just put together. And we are going to lay it down at the edge here, but the way that they did it, you want to make sure that it's to the I'm going to say it's to the right side. So see how it's not centered down here? It's off to the right. And the reason they did that is because we're going to actually push this through the window that we've created. And you'll see that there are some pieces that hang off the edge, and we don't want too much hanging off. So it's going, everything is upside down. We're laying down the straight bottom, flat edge of the flowers and the leaves. Putting at the bottom right side of the window that we now have. And then we're pushing everything through the window. And when you flip it over, you can see that everything is coming out exactly where it's supposed to be, because they made it so easy.
I cheated a little bit.
You did?
I stuck the little base through first
Okay, yeah.
and then positioned it a little bit so that it's only a little bit hanging off.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I like this a lot.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
This
Isn't
is
that
really pretty.
And
I
it's,
think I'm really happy that I ordered a refill already.
oh, good for you. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. So everybody good with that? Okay. So now this is where all the dimensionals come in. We are going to put a bunch of dimensionals on here because it's kind of a window. So the places you want to make sure that you have dimensionals are like in the middle here and on one or two of the leaves. like where you have the most coverage. Okay, so I'm gonna just put two. I'm down to my edges here. And just where I have overlap, I'm making sure I have just two, because we don't want it flopping like this. Okay, so when we glue it down, it'll be fine. And then just around the card, maybe, you know, up here, one in the middle, and same thing at the bottom. Now I have to use my new sheet. Nope, no, I don't. No, I don't. Here we go. Have to use my edges when I can. And once you have that, you peel them all off. Takes a little bit. Let's see. Okay. Here we go. And then this is going to go right onto the card front. Okay. So once you have all your dimensionals in place, we're putting it on the card front, and there are no edges, nothing sticking out. So they're going edge to edge. And you see, now they don't flop anymore because we've given it something to hang on to. Really pretty, I think. I love that this is foil. We've got some gorgeous great foil on there. Okay. So when you get that all done, give me a thumbs up. All right, got 2, 3, 4. Okay, excellent. All right, so now we're going to take our label, and for this, we're going to we're not gluing it down with regular adhesive, but we do want to put our thread or linen thread on the back. So what I did is I put, oops, can't even see it, but there is a line of adhesive just up there, it is in the middle of the back side of our label. And we're going to do the 12 inches again of ribbon or linen thread. I'm getting texted. Let's see. 12 inches. And this time, again, we're not going to make a bow. No bows today. We're just going to wind our thread. But again, I do want to smooth it out a little bit, just so that it's not all curly Q. And this time when we do it, those of you who were at class recently, you know that we are just winding. This is like the new way of doing things. It's the faux bow, if you will. We're just winding our linen thread to make a bow. It looks like a bow when we turn it over. All right. And it's very forgiving. You can have it any way you want. You could do it like I did mine straight up and down, and I don't like that. So I'm going to just move it to be on an angle instead. There's no right or wrong way to do this. There we go. And once you have that, then we're going to use dimensionals on the back side, and we're going to put it onto our card front. It's 2 or 3 dimensionals, however you like. And it goes across the bottom and covers side to side of our window there. Oh, I have a little extra down here. I'm going to cut that off. Like that. Okay. And that is it for this card. Oh, fun to have a window and a card. Right. So when you are done with that, you can give me a thumbs up. It's nice today because I can see everybody on one screen. Doesn't always happen. So demonstrators, we got a preview today. Somewhere along the line, the new, the next paper pumpkin kit. They showed, there was a little video somewhere about what it has in it. It has very cute little boxes that I saw, like gingham boxes that look like milk cartons. So it just has 3 of those, and then it has, I think, 6 cards that go with it too. But yep. But I heard it has chicks and bunnies. So
Oh, fun.
they obviously for Easter. So, all right, Lynn and Sue, how are you doing? All done? Okay. Yeah, if I look away, then I miss the thumbs up. So I have to ask. Okay, so now we move on to card number 3. We have our pieces. And remember that little tiny guy I said don't lose? Let's go ahead and stamp him first so that we have a better chance of not losing. So, nice little guy just gets stamped with the teeny tiny with. So this little guy right here, with. And that way we'll have all our pieces ready to go. Nope, that's not true. But so go ahead and get your width and then put that aside. And we do have some more stamping to do on here too. So once you finish the width, we're going to take our label and we are going to stamp the little, I don't know, what do you call this?
No, thank you. No, I'm good. Thank you.
Little stuff. What's
Little
happening?
spray.
Little spray, thanks. That's
Like that. That works.
spray works.
Try.
And it's going to go a little bit on an angle on the label. So it looks like that. So these are the 2 things, again, that we're stamping. Pick it up. Those are the 2 things to stamp. And when we're done stamping, you just let me know with a thumbs up. Awesome. Nice. Frozen. So I really love this kit, and you know that it coordinates with the perennial lavender. That's probably what these are called, lavender, not lilacs. I was trying to come up with the word.
Oh, yeah.
So yes,
Thought of that, but I don't
Perennial.
think they look that much like lavender, at least
I
not the
know.
lavender I've grown. So
No.
You know what? They kind of do look like when it's ready to be dried.
Hmm.
okay.
Huh.
I
Well,
guess I've
sure.
never tried it.
All right.
Okay.
Yes,
I'm
but
here.
perennial lavender is just really it's a very popular bundle, and the whole suite has been very popular. So
The paper is so gorgeous.
I know. So nice to hoard. Maybe we'll use it. Okay, so are we all set? Everybody good? Okay, so now let's take our
Could I see your bunch of flowers again, please?
yes.
Oh, it's on an angle. Okay. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's okay. We'll wait for you. I couldn't tell if it comes up or not. Okay, but we're gonna work with the very, very pretty card base. And I wish they had this in big paper, right? You know,
Mhm.
this nice. Okay, so we've already stamped our piece. So let's go ahead and we're going to add this to the card front using dimensionals. So however you like to do that. I'm just going to use 2. That makes me happy enough. Everybody's different. And it goes right smack in the center. Then we're going to do a little gluing of our very fragile little pieces here. The green is going to go in the back. And so I'm going to take my glue and use less of it this time. I really need to get my glasses on, I think. No problem. So just little dots of adhesive or however you want to use it. And pick that up. And this goes on in the other direction, what we just put in. So the opposite direction of the way we stamped. And it can hang off a little if you'd like, or not. So that looks. And of course you can do all of these any way you like. Then we're going to glue down the lavender. Same thing, anywhere you want, but we're really just doing a bunch of overlapping here so that it looks like a lovely bouquet or spray or whatever. So I think one of these is longer than the other, so I put the long one in the center and then the smaller one. Maybe they're the same size, I'm not sure. Didn't measure. And just putting this on here. And we're going to be covering up a lot of the base, so it's fine, you know, overlap and do whatever you need to at the bottom, and most of that will get covered. The background is very pretty, but it is very busy too. But this is good that we're covering up a bunch of it. Looks good. But before we work on our label and covering this up, we are going to add a little twine, 12 inches. At your leisure. And we're making that fake bow again. No rush, just. And then, oops, I need to. Scissors. And like I did before, I'm gonna pull it between my fingers to make it less curly. You can let me know when you've got everything glued. Except the ribbon. Got it. Okay. So for the ribbon, I'm going to do it the same way again. I'm going to just put a line of adhesive down on, right onto the cardstock, onto the bottom of the label. And again, it really doesn't matter where. We're going to be covering it up, but now I'm going to make some loops. And I want it to be kind of sideways. So I'm going to start it and then create a loop. And then create another loop. And I create another loop. It's not even a bow. It looks like a lumpy bunch of curly cues. Very descriptive. Just throw it out a bunch of twine because we're covering most of it up anyway. So that is just such an easy way of doing things, and it really does look a little bit organized when you get it done. So we're going to be taking this strip of gorgeous grape-ish. And we're going to put this down with dimensionals because it has to overlap all those things that we already put down. So we make it easy by using the dimensionals and covering it up. Covering up all the little messes. Nobody's going to ever know there's a mess there underneath.
What mess? You had a mess?
Exactly. No mess. No mess. Once that's down, now we can, hopefully you didn't lose your little width. Now for this width, they are recommending cutting a dimensional in half. But if you have mini dimensionals, that works too. And I think I lost my little piece after all. I had it. Oh no. So frustrating. I'm telling you, that little piece. Oh, here it is. It like jumps around my desk. I don't know why. It's only this little piece. But we're putting it on with a dimensional. And it's going to be on. We're going to actually use it, and it's going to stick up off of that strip that we just put down. So there it is. It's sticking up a little. We have our width. And the reason we did that is because the love, we're going to glue down underneath it. And we want the width to just overlap a little bit because it gives continuity to the design. And we're doing it with this lovely die cut. Now we're going to talk about that die cut in a second because we actually have a die. And you can get this die. Let me show it to you. As an add-on to the spring kits, we have some dies. So while you're finishing up, I'm going to show you the dies. Of course, I had to open it. Let's see what it was.
I bought it, but I'm not sure I know where it is.
I know, this is another thing. It's a little small, so it keeps getting lost on my desk. But
Yep.
here we have that love. So it's exactly the way that we have it here. And I believe it also will, you can stamp it and cut it out. I think it's the same. Like that.
Look at that.
Yes. Yep. So we can do that. And then these pieces probably go nicely with the other spring.
February and March.
Right, February and March. They'll
Yep.
look at February and March. And who
I
doesn't
was
love
gonna notice that.
a label?
That looks like that matches the label that we made on the first tag.
Yeah, it's a little like it, but this one has the stitching or piercing. I can't tell if it's stitched or pierced.
Ooh.
And it's a little longer than that one. But yes, but I can always find a use for those. So anyway, totally worth it. Anybody know how much this is? Girls, do you remember? Is it 12?
I know it was
I don't
10-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't that much.
Yeah.
But
Definitely
remember.
worth it.
It was $12. I ordered it today, as a matter of fact.
Did you?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, $12. So, but definitely worth it. I love it. I see lots of uses for it. Okay, so how did everybody do? Did we finish our cards?
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Awesome. Okay, so let's take a look at some alternative projects. Let me just get my screen shared. Hop you over to my PowerPoint and we will start at the beginning. Let's see. Come on. Come on. It's thinking. Okay, now it's done. All right. So everybody knows I love Brian King's work, and this is something from him. So he just kept those two pieces together and then flipped over the leaves and sponged them a little so that everything matches. So I thought that was lovely. Haha. Okay. next up, this is Cindy Coots. And actually, in hindsight, I think these are just the cards. I thought they were different. I'm sorry. Okay, well, Cindy made the cards that we just made, and that's how they look on the
She
screen.
added some bling, that's all.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's right. Yeah, so these are the gems that are in the mini catalog. Thank you. Thank you for finding something, some reason for me to pick them. I don't know, I just thought they looked so pretty, but they are. That's why. Okay, this is our very own Allison Ephraim.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so she shared some alternatives, and I love how she did that. And look, we have our softly sophisticated backgrounds that we love, right? She just cut things down, and she made this a gatefold card, which is always fun. And she made this a shaker card, and we're going to see another shaker card too. But you know, anytime there's a window, there's an opportunity for a shaker card, right? So always have to look for that. So well done, Allison. All right.
Mhm.
And then I don't know if you can see this. This is from I didn't realize this was going to happen. Oh dear. I don't know how well you can see this, but this is a card that was featured on there's a paper pumpkin design team of demonstrators that provides the projects for the videos that they do on Facebook every month. And they'll always show a bunch of alternatives. And I love this one. I can guarantee you're going to be seeing this again, this style again. Look at this. It goes from, this is the card front. So it's got the half fold there. And, you know, when you open it up, it's just this piece over here that had covered what was on the inside.
Oh, wow.
And then, can you see the last one, the third block? I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
It looks like it pops up and it's a gift card
Open.
gift
holder.
card.
There's a gift
Yeah.
card. Isn't that great?
Wow. That's very
I-
cool.
Yeah, whether you put a gift card in there or not, but what a clever fun fold. I really like
Mhm.
that. So yes, you will probably see that in a class sometime soon. That fun fold. But well done. Love it. So here's that other shaker card I was talking about. So it's basically the same card. She had a little ribbon, but she's got these fun little shimmery gems in here. Okay. And then this is one of my favorite people. I always have samples from her, Lynn Dunn. She did a bunch of different designs. Look, she just used the strips of paper to make a background. How brilliant is that? And here she just die cut out the love and layered it. So looks awesome. She must have hand cut some of that, but still very fun. So that's 6 different designs. And you know, you look at them and say, oh my God, absolutely, I could do that, right? Every one of these is not difficult. So just a take on, and these butterflies are in the mini catalog. You can get a bunch of them pre-die cut. And here she just sponged the edges to make it purple. And here's another one. Okay, then we have Rexine. I just love that she combined it with the embossing folder on the back and just took them and tied them together. How simple and pretty is that? So all things that can be found in the main catalog. This one is this lady, Honeybee Stamping Hive. She comes up with like 20 designs for every kit. And I like this one. I loved how she used the vellum in the background too. She die cut some leaves separately and just created that collage type look with the strips. Always a favorite. And here she did some embossing. So that. And Rachel Tessman, she's a genius, this lady. I put the link here. Look at this box. Oh, shoot. I had trouble with my computer, and the second image wasn't supposed to be the same. It shows you it's like a honeycomb in the back, the way that this is folded. A project I would never do. I highly recommend that you go to this link to see. She does a video with it, and it's just a really fun, like little box card. is what it's supposed to be, but it's a bunch of little folds in the back here. I can't believe I did not replace it. I got kicked out of a meeting today because my Zoom crashed and it took everything away that I had up on my computer.
Ugh.
Yeah, so I obviously did not get this one back. So oopsie. So anyway. And then I think this is the last one. This is the posy folder that she put in the back, and she just colored them with daubers or whatever. But I hadn't thought about that, but they look like the same flowers, right? So not the I think it's called posies. The embossing folder, but we've used it before, but I just love that how that she used that as the window in the back. Thought it was clever. So I think that's it. All right, so those are the 10 different projects. I'll come over here. So we have you know, our next kit will be coming soon, and yeah, paper pumpkin. That's it for today. My next classes are, you know, Wednesdays at 3, as always, on YouTube and Facebook Live. And then I have my in-person classes next week. So those of you who are able, if you'd like to come, please let me know. So anybody have anything else? No?
Hey, class.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you for coming. I love seeing all your faces and chit-chatting with you. So
Well, and this makes me like get my box open and get them made. So it's huge.
too. Me too, because if I didn't do this,
1,000%. Yep.
yep, this motivates
No.
me to look at it and really get it done.
Thank you.
Sure
Well,
thing.
thank you.
All right, everybody. Have a
Okay.
great
Have a good
See you
weekend.
night.
soon. Thanks.
Good
Feel,
night.
feel better.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.